So we've got a house, farming area, villager trading hall, mob farm, and even this fancy diamond armor. All that's left for this challenge is to kill the Ender Dragon and win the game, but not so fast. If it were that simple, anyone could do it. There's still quite a bit of work we have to do. For starters, there's the block. I'll fill you in on something that took me a long time to figure out. For whatever reason, this mod no longer saves your progress on the one block whenever you log out. That means you have to start over and grind your way through the phases before you can get any further. Just a heads up for anyone else who wants to give this a try. The first thing I need to do is find a nether fortress so I can get some blaze rods. We're going to need those for Eyes of Ender. Before I can get to the nether though, I need to get my hands on some obsidian. I spent the next few hours mining the block to get through the nether phase. Or at least that's what I intended to do until tragedy struck. A monster party spawned that included a ghast and a blaze. All the fear I had about fire on the platform was finally realized, and even though I tried to stop it, just about the entire farming section of the island went up in flames and we lost the mushroom cows. That meant no more delicious soup to stave off hunger. I gathered all the leather and raw beef that I'd been collecting and walled off that portion of the island. I thought about rebuilding, but we were too far along in this challenge and I really just wanted to keep moving. Instead, I put up that nice nether brick wall to hide it. There's nothing like sweeping things under the rug. Even though I had about a stack and a half of beef, I was worried about food for the dragon fight. Then I remembered that we could get golden carrots from the farmer villagers. I could use the blaze rod I got from a chest to make a brewing stand. After all, cleric villagers will trade rotten flesh for emeralds. And I was getting tons of rotten flesh from the mob farm. So I continued mining the one block until I got just enough obsidian to build a nether portal. I took 2 of my diamonds to make a sword and made a gold helmet to protect myself from piglins. Then I lit the portal and went in. You'd think by this point I'd have made myself a shield, but I guess that would be very unlike me. Our mission was to find a nether fortress and get my hands on some blaze rods. After searching for what felt like forever, I finally found a fortress. How many F's can you fit in one sentence? The next step was to find a blaze spawner. I finally found one, and after getting 4 blaze rods and nearly dying more times than I'd like to admit, I performed a tactical retreat and tried to figure out my way back home. Sweet, we can use that later. I'll take these 2. I forgot to write down my coordinates, but luckily I just assumed that it would be close to 0, 0, and it was. Okay, let's do this. So now that we were back in the overworld with blaze rods, there was still a bunch of work to do. I needed to grind the mob farm for rotten flesh, which I then turned into golden carrots and arrows, all while working on the block to get to the end phase. Getting to the end of the phases was very precarious, especially when it came to dealing with the evokers and vexes. I even popped a totem at one point because I thought it would be the safest thing to hide inside my house. Not sure what I was thinking there. In the end, I got a ton of extra totems for the dragon fight and the end portal spawned in. I wasn't ready yet though. I topped up my arrows and golden carrots and crafted the Eyes of Ender I'd need to activate the portal. Now with everything ready, I fired up the end portal and moonwalked in. I quickly made my way over to the central platform and dug a little safe room underneath. That way if I took too much damage or looked at an enderman, I'd have somewhere to hide. Then I went around and took out all the end crystals. A couple of them were difficult to get, but I was actually pretty impressed with my bow skills. After the crystals had all been destroyed, I set my sights on the dragon, bashing its shins when it was perched and peppering it with arrows when it was flying around. Just as I thought I was about to kill it, the dragon flung me really high into the air and I had to MLG water bucket to survive. Pro skills, by the way. Then I aimed my bow and took the kill shot, still pumping with adrenaline. All in all, it was a pretty easy dragon fight. Not one enderman aggroed to me. I only got shot into the air once, and it isn't like I had to kill it using only spoons. I went to collect the dragon egg as a souvenir, but it completely disappeared, and I wasn't able to find it anywhere. I did another moonwalk back through the portal and went back to the overworld. So here we are back in the overworld, home sweet home. Hey look, here's our map. I just updated it recently. You can't even tell that the farming area over there is completely destroyed. It's really nice. It looks like it's good as new, except you can't see all the trees like you could before. We've got one little doggy left. I never named this guy. I should have named him, but it's too late now. I did pick up a cat on the way, and I didn't tell anybody about it when I did. It just got cut from the footage when I was editing it out. As you could tell, with this series, I've been extremely extremely sensitive about having, dead space. I wanted to make this as quick as possible. A little bit of an experiment just to see, test out different editing styles and that sort of thing. I really like how this turned out, and it appears as though you did too. And there's the block, of course. Now, for those of you who don't know and have never played this type of map before, the block will continue for a few more 1,000 blocks. So the challenge is over. The actual challenge is over once we defeated the Ender Dragon and got through the end phase. It'll just keep going for anybody who wants to continue what they're doing here. But with that, I think it's time, guys. It's time. This is hardcore, and we're going to do it. See ya.